Hey parents, one of the things that really sets us apart from regular doctors who are always just kind of writing down symptoms and treating those is we really do dive deep into the root cause of everything, even common childhood stuff like growth spurts and growing pains. Now, in the journey of a child, the truth is this is something that half or more kids report physical pain and actual physical tension and pain, especially getting worse at night with growing pains and growth spurts. But after years of really diving deep with our parents and patients, is that there's actually so much more beneath the surface, if you will, with growing pains. In fact, kiddos who struggle with sensory processing disorder, autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, anxiety, and even chronic autoimmune challenges like chronic colds, asthma, allergies, ear infections, all of those conditions are always made worse during growth spurts and growing pains as well. And there's a common neurological thread that ties this all together, that when parents learn about this and know that this is going on, and then they get natural drug-free solutions to address it, man, it not only helps those kiddos have way less pain, if any at all, with growth spurts and growing pains, but it just smooths their development out. See, what happens all the time when a child is going through a growth spurt is the stuff they may already struggle with, so their immune system or their sensory system or their emotional and behavioral regulation, it always takes a back seat, because when the body gets busy, when it gets stressed growing, that's not just a physical stress on the ligaments and the muscles and the bones, those things, the muscles and the ligaments especially, they communicate that stress through the sensory system into the brain and the nervous system. And that's why their sleep, their sensory, their emotions can become a struggle as well. So let's just get into the basic facts of growth spurts. It's going to happen a lot and often. Growth is healthy. Going through these challenges is a good thing. Our kids are designed to adapt and literally grow through these in a healthy, health building way. No different than when they get a fever or they get sick. We don't need fever reducers or pain suppressors to come in and shut down the body's natural response to those challenges. What we really need to ask the question of, if a child is really struggling with growth spurts, growing pains, and especially if it sets their sensory and their emotions and their behavior off track, is what's going on. Is there more beneath the surface? What's really happening? Well, what we find all the time when parents report that their child or their kids struggle a lot with growing pains in the legs, disrupting their sleep, making their stomach feel funky, and setting the behavior off, is we find that their nervous system was extra stressed already, meaning it shifted into sympathetic fight or flight mode. Now, when the bones of the body grow, especially the long bones of the legs, but also the long bones, if you take all the vertebra of the spine, we call it the neurospinal system, because the difference with the bones of the spine is they all act as one, and they're covered by what's called meninges or the dura mater, and all of these tiny muscles before there's big muscles that connect to it. So I won't go into the anatomy of this, but know that the spine is the most sensory sensitive system in the whole body. So as a child grows, if they already have what's called physical tension or neurological dysfunction, so the nerdy word for that is something called subluxation, set within, say, their neck, their shoulders, their mid back, or anywhere within this neurospinal system, when that system goes to get longer and grow, if it's already tense, if it's already got these neuromuscular dysfunctions within it, they're going to get worse during that growth spurt. They're going to get more irritated. They're going to cause more interference into the function of the nervous system. That's why your child will report not only maybe some physical pain, but it will disrupt their natural neurodevelopment like sleep. It can disrupt their sensory processing, mood, and behavioral dysregulation as well. So, subluxation broken down means the nervous system shifts into fight or flight mode. And as those muscles and ligaments get tighter and they grow, they send these signals into the brain called nociception. Now, nociception is a nerdy neurological term for noise or stress going into the brain, noise into the brain, because a child who may be already or is easily stressed and overstressed, Autism will be a lot of that. Sensory or ADHD would be the same, maybe a slightly less version of that. That neurological stress in that child's life every day will now, with growth spurts or challenges to the immune system or falls, when we play, you're going to take an already overstressed system and stress it out further. And nerves that fire together wire together. So, the last main point parents need to know about growing pains is kids don't grow out of them. They become the teenagers who are constantly cracking their neck, who are constantly, they develop that neuromuscular tension that stresses their body, not just physically, but again, emotionally and behaviorally as well. So if you feel like when your child is going through a growth spurt, man, they seem more off than maybe they should. They seem more stressed. They seem more in pain. They seem more disrupted with their health and their quality of life than perhaps they should. Then you definitely deserve to learn more about some of this nerdy, but really easy to understand science behind growth spurts, growing pains, and how it can affect a child in these not just small ways, but actually even bigger ways when it comes to their health in all forms and fashions. What I'd love to have you do is to go to the website, click the link here with the video or in the link in our bio, read the whole article about growing pains and growth spurts, learn more about the terms we introduced here like subluxation, sympathetic dominance, nervous system dysregulation, because what we find in kiddos struggling all the time is just that. And the good news is when we address the root cause and overstress, out of balance nervous system head on with safe, natural, gentle, drug free care like neurotonal chiropractic adjustments, man, you can see the stress come off these kids' entire systems. And not only do they feel better physically, they sleep better. Their sensory and emotional regulation is improved. There's so many quality of life benefits to regular neurologically focused chiropractic care for kiddos. So, they don't need to be struggling with something as severe as autism or ADHD to benefit from it. Regular, just being a kid is tough sledding sometimes. Growth spurts, not always fun. Teething, not always fun. Childhood falls, and these emotional leaps of development, they can stress the system. So if it's already stressed, well, then it can start this cycle that sometimes kids get stuck in. And so we wanted to get this information to you in a real, more in depth way than most people talk about growth spurts and growing pains, and then get you more information, more resources than anything else you need. So if you have questions or if your kiddo has struggled with these, just comment below, send us a DM. We are here to help. God bless.